All right, here we are back again with another tier list. This time, clearly, we are doing Pringles. Believe it or not, it took me a couple weeks to assemble this collection of Pringles because I went to every store near me to try to get all the flavors, and half of them you can't find. Almost every single store you go to, the only ones they're going to have are going to be like the classics, like your sour cream and onion, your original. Some of them might have the reduced fat, maybe the light salt, I think maybe like honey mustard. And then the rest of them are like impossible to find. So I had to just like source them through random online websites. Online websites? Are there offline websites? Anyway, so you know how the tier list works by now. Let's get to it. This one is going to be so much easier to do than the Pop-Tarts with all the sugar and all that. So we're going to start off with these flavors because these are the only flavors that I've ever had of Pringles, with the exception of, actually that's a lie, because I've had the original, but I've never had the lightly salted original or the reduced fat original. These two are just here because they're the original flavor. These three are the only ones I've ever had. Just original, the pizza, and the sour cream and onion. Like your core Pringle flavors that most people have had. So let's start with the original. Just a good old, regular, original potato chip. There's something different about a fresh Pringles tube. Way more salty than I remember, actually. I've also noticed that all the cans are half English, half Spanish. And I don't ever remember that being the case as a kid. I should also mention, I haven't had Pringles since I was a kid. That is a good potato chip. It's obviously not going to be the best, so it's not going to be S tier, but it's very good. So I'm going to say the original, that's an A tier. It's not the best, but it's very good. I actually want to taste the lightly salted and the reduced fat right next to them. Because, call me crazy, I don't think that the lightly salted or the reduced fat are gonna be much different. I think they're gonna taste almost exactly like the original. So let's go for lightly salted first. Actually, you know what? The lightly salted is infinitely worse. It's like a chip that's missing something. So the original has 150 milligrams of sodium per 15 chips, and the lightly salted has 70 milligrams per 15 chips. So basically half the amount of salt. Although that doesn't taste like half the amount of salt at all. It tastes like, let me get another one here. Yeah, it tastes like a regular amount of salt and then just no salt at all. Like with this, you almost taste nothing as far as salt is concerned. Well, that's gonna knock its rank down quite a bit. Just the slightest hint of salt. They shouldn't name this lightly salted. They should name this, oh, it says right on the thing, 50% less sodium. They need to just name it no salt because you don't even taste it. Okay, let's taste the reduced fat right next to that. Okay, lightly salted. That's gonna be a D tier for sure because like there's no salt. Who wants to eat a chip with no salt? Now the reduced fat is kind of thrown me for a loop here a little bit. It also has a little bit less sodium, so it's a little bit less salt. 130 milligrams per serving versus 150, but not that much. The saltiness is still there. Do these side by side. Original. Okay. Not an incredible difference. The reduced fat seems to have a slightly different texture in maybe just like a touch more crunch, maybe? Almost kind of like a, I can't remember what it's called. I think like Lay's makes those chips that are like baked or something instead of fried. It's almost like it has a little bit of that type of crunch in there. But it's not bad. So I would put it B tier because It's not far off from the original. So if you're looking for a healthier option, instead of lightly salted, I would just go reduced fat. I think we're getting to more of like the gold standard. The sour cream and onion and the pizza. Hopefully these taste like they did when I was a kid. Oh yeah. That's the smell right there. That is such a good flavor. It's also a strong flavor, which I like. Oh man. I could eat this whole tube right now. Beautiful. That flavor has not changed since I was a kid. I love that. This is S tier all day. Let's go pizza. I remember whenever I was a kid, these tasted really good, exactly like pizza. That flavor takes me right back to childhood. The flavor on these has also not changed since I was a kid. There's a specific flavor I'm tasting. I'm trying to put my finger on. I think I got it. So these, what makes these good, obviously they taste like pizza, but it's not like a super high quality good pizza. It tastes kind of like whenever you go to the frozen pizza aisle, you know, you have like the DiGiorno, and I think you have Totino's maybe. There's like one step down from DiGiorno, and there's like something below that. This tastes like, has like that mid-tier of frozen pizza flavor. So for a chip, that's excellent. I want to say S tier, just because I don't think there's going to be many other ones that are going to be S tier. Okay, yeah, we'll go S tier. All right, now let's go. Oh, I don't want to do salt and vinegar right away. Let's go cheddar sour cream. I thought it was cheddar sour cream and onion, but I guess it's just cheddar sour cream. That might change my opinion. Okay, kind of an off smell. Let's see here. The chips feel like they're thinner on this flavor, which is odd. It's definitely cheddar and sour cream. The cheddar flavor is not really coming through that much though. It's more of just a sour cream flavor. Every single I thought maybe just like maybe the top few chips might have been a little bit thin. These are all significantly thinner than regular Pringles. That's got to be C tier. It's not horrible, but like if I went to the Pringles aisle, they were all sold out of all the good flavors, and then I saw that, I would get it as like a consolation. Let's go barbecue. It smells like a real nice barbecue. I don't like that at all. I like things that are barbecue flavored, but this is not just your regular barbecue. This is like a barbecue with a heavy, heavy smoked flavor. Like it tastes like you took the chips and like held them over the smoke of like a campfire or something. I feel like just a regular, normal barbecue would have been so much better. That's got to be a D tier. I feel like they had such a good opportunity to make that great, and then they just ruined it. Let's try ranch. I don't know. I don't think I've ever had any type of ranch potato chip. I don't know how ranch by itself would taste on a potato chip. This is very interesting. Not great, not bad. I'm also going to give that a C tier. Wouldn't be my first pick, but if somebody handed them to me, I'd eat them, but I wouldn't pick them. I'm sure we're going to have our first E tier. See, they don't even want you to get these things open. Salt and vinegar. I've had salt and vinegar chips before, but I've never had salt and vinegar Pringles. Okay. That's an E tier. Ugh. For one, I hate the taste of vinegar. Two, that's not even really why I hate salt and vinegar chips so much. The reason I hate all salt and vinegar chips, I've never had one that I've liked. Whenever you put them in your mouth, you don't just taste the vinegar, but you get like an acid burn almost in your mouth from the vinegar. Who wants that? Why do you want to feel? Who wakes up in the morning and goes, you know what? You know what I want to feel? I want to feel an acidic burn in my mouth while I try to eat my chips. And then I also want you to sprinkle some salt on it while it burns. Like, what type of psychopath does that? So that is 100% an E tier. Let's go ahead and knock these 4 out of the way. I don't know what the difference would... Well, I do kind of know what the difference is. They have a whole line of what they call harvest blends. And they're all made with whole grains, or multi-grains, I believe. And I believe the thing is they're supposed to all be healthier. So we got sea salt, homestyle ranch, smoky barbecue. So I know that's going to be great. And farmhouse cheddar. Let's give this sea salt. Maybe this will be the closest thing to like an original. The chips are smaller. Oh, never mind. No, they're not. The top ones were just broken. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, they're all different. So this sea salt one is made out of sweet potatoes. And this one, the ranch, is multi-grains. And then... Okay, so it's sweet potato and multi-grains. The sweet potato... It just adds too much of a weird... It just adds too much of a weird flavor. Whenever you open a can of Pringles, you have an expectation of what it's going to taste like because you know what Pringles taste like. But then you taste this, and now it's all got this like weird sweet potato flavor. It throws everything off. That's a D tier. Okay, so this one is just multi-grain. Homestyle ranch. So there shouldn't be any sweet potato in here. You know what? This one, I feel like they got something going here. This actually ain't bad. The ranch flavor is very strong. They really layered on that ranch seasoning, which I actually like. And the fact that it's made with multi-grains, it doesn't really affect the flavor that bad. I think if I saw these at a store and I was picking up Pringles, I would probably actually eat these, and it'd probably be all right. I'm going to give that... That's a B tier. I think that's our first B tier so far. Yeah, that's a B tier all day. Oh, now we got sweet potato and smoky barbecue. That's going to be quite the mixture. It doesn't smell that smoky. I feel like this barbecue is not even less smoky. I don't even taste the smokiness compared to the other one. Okay, that's kind of throwing a wrench into my grading system here. So the sweet potato kind of complements the barbecue. And the barbecue's not smoky like they say. The regular barbecue is far smokier than this. So this actually isn't bad. I thought this was going to be one of the worst ones. So I'll give that a B. I would probably also, if I saw that on a shelf and I was in the mood for something barbecue, I would probably pick that up. Now this one, again, multi-grains, farmhouse cheddar. Okay, this one must have been one of the ones that I had to have mailed in because half the chips are like destroyed. All right. I don't think they got enough cheese flavor on there. All right, let me get one more just for good measure. All right. That's going to be a D tier. I'll tell you why. They layered that cheese flavor on there so strong. And it's not even like the good type of cheese flavor. It's like that super, super fake tasting cheese flavor. And it's on there thick. So it's going to have to be a D. But I will tell you that I can tell if they would cut the amount of cheese dust that they put on this, maybe cut it like in half, that would probably bring it almost all the way up to an A tier. I can tell that the only problem is that there's just too much cheese dust. And they need to tone it down. I mean, it's almost borderline E. But I'll go with a D just to be nice. All right, now we're going to get into some of the more wacky type flavors. We're going to start off with Philly cheesesteak. I don't know how you're going to manage to fit an entire Philly cheesesteak into a chip. But if anybody could do it, I suppose it would be Pringles. Okay. I'm not going to lie. You open that up, and it literally smells like puke. Yeah. That makes me not even want to try it. Philly cheesesteak? I don't know about that. Okay. So that's... How do I even describe that? Oh, it's like it tastes like 3 or 4 different types of onions mixed together with like a really bad nacho cheese, almost like an expired nacho cheese mixed with onions or something. That's an E tier. That's right down there with salt and vinegar. It's gross. Get it away from me. I would never buy that. I wouldn't eat that if I was starving on a desert island. And the smell is just horrendous. As soon as you open it, you're just like, okay, I don't even want this anymore. I think this is just cheddar cheese. Regular old. It says naturally flavored. Okay. I highly doubt there's any real cheddar cheese in here. Okay, that's good. So, what was it? The Harvest Blends cheddar that was too strong? If they would just put this type of cheddar, because it tastes like 2 different cheeses, but if they would just put this type and this amount on that Harvest Blend chip, that would have been perfect. Not too cheesy. The flavor is not too overpowering. That's exactly what you'd expect whenever you go to have a cheddar cheese. I think that's an A tier. That's up there with just some of the best ones. That the strength of the cheese and the flavoring was just so on point with that one. They did a really good job with that. Oh, this is one of the ones I had to order. Prawn cocktail. I don't even know what country this comes from because we don't call it prawns in America. We call them shrimp. So I don't know what country this comes from. I've been eyeballing this for about a week, dying to figure out what that tastes like. Maybe I've been excited for nothing. The chips are also different, a different texture. It's got to be from a different country because the chips are a different texture. The chips are probably made with like real ingredients and not processed garbage or something. It's actually really good because I like shrimp cocktail. If you don't like shrimp cocktail, then you'd probably hate it. But it has the perfect amount of shrimp flavor. It tastes like if you took a shrimp, dipped it in the cocktail sauce, and then you ate it. That mixture of those flavors, like in their proportions, if that makes sense. That's exactly how this tastes. This is one, they did a really good job with this. And the flavor is even correct. Whereas, like, if you had a shrimp cocktail and you dip the shrimp in there and you take a bite, the first thing you're going to taste is the cocktail sauce, and then the shrimp flavor is going to come a little bit later. That's exactly how this is. You taste the cocktail sauce first, and then you get a little bit of shrimp flavor. I think I'm going to have to put it at A tier, because I think if I went to a store and I was looking for Pringles and I saw this again, now that I've had it, I would go, oh yeah, definitely getting that one. Now we got Texas barbecue brisket. Let's hope it's not smoky. It smells like hand sanitizer. Not exactly like hand sanitizer, but like a mild hand sanitizer. It's a little unnerving. That does taste just like brisket. That really does. It's even got kind of like that charred flavor that you get with a brisket. Okay, they did a really good job with this one too. That it's almost kind of creepy. Like imagine somehow you could make a chip in the texture of a brisket. If I bit into that with this flavor profile, it would be exactly the same. It would taste exactly like a brisket. So it is really good. I don't think it's A tier though, but I do think it is B tier. But they did do a really good job with it. All right, these next four, I think these are all flavors that I had to order off of the internet. So I think some of them are a little bit crushed. This is sweet paprika. And I think this also came from a different country because it's taller than I think any other tube that I have. So I don't know what that's all about. Kellogg Europe. So this comes from Europe. All right, sweet paprika. They're using some different ingredients. That's a hard crunch. Jeez. Best by 7/11/24. So they're also expired. Maybe that's why they have such a hard crunch. But they're not that expired. Only like, what, 2 months? So now I'm kind of confused. I don't know if this extra hard crunch is because they're expired by a little bit, or is it because they use different ingredients? I think it's because they use different ingredients. Now, this is going to confuse some of you, but some of you are going to completely understand what I'm saying. This has part of the flavor profile of this. It tastes like TV static. Like I said, some of you are going to get that, some of you won't, but it tastes like TV static. So imagine TV static with a little bit of like a pepper flavor, I guess. It's not great. I'm gonna give it a D. I would not pick that up. Next we got ketchup, which looks like the tube has also been crushed. Oh no, we're actually pretty all right. So I've had ketchup chips before, not the Pringles ones. It's a little different. It almost tastes like it tastes like ketchup, but if they just took all the bad parts of ketchup and then mixed that into a flavor and put that in there, like it doesn't taste like the ketchup. It tastes more like if you licked the inside of the plastic ketchup bottle. As if you've ever done that. That's kind of the flavor I'm getting. Because it definitely has kind of like a slight like plasticky type flavor. I want to say D, but I think I'm going to go with C. I don't think it deserves a D, but it's definitely not great. Now we got Carnitas Taco. I don't even know what that means. It smells kind of good. It tastes like pork. Does carnitas taco mean pork taco? And it leaves like a little lime flavor on your lips. That's not bad, actually. You can taste the pork. You can taste the tortilla. I'm gonna give that a B tier. That actually kind of surprised me. Next up, we got honey mustard. Now, I like honey mustard on chicken nuggets. Is it gonna be good on chips? That I don't know. Now, actually, here's the question. Is this gonna be the good honey mustard or the bad honey mustard? The good honey mustard. That's what this tastes like. Perfect amount of salt. Perfect amount of honey mustard. This is a good chip right here. That's A tier. I would choose this. All right, we got 6 more. And then we're moving on to the spicy flavors. Next, we got Emmental. And I'll have you know, this tube right here of this Emmental, some type of cheese or whatever it is what held this video up. I had to wait an extra, I think like 8 days for this to come in the mail. So hopefully that was worth it. I don't even know what Emmental means. Ah, Europe. Kellogg Europe. Interesting. I waited all this extra time for that. I don't want to try another one. It almost leaves like an acid flavor in your mouth. That's an E tier. That's probably the best example. That's one of the best examples of an E tier that I've ever had. If there was ever a chip that I never wanted to be near me ever again in my life, it's that one. Let's go with all dressed. I don't even know what that means. Is that vinegar? Hold on. I don't even know how to describe that flavor. Like a vinegary, pepper, sink water type of taste or something. I don't know. That's also an E tier. 2 E tiers back to back. This is going downhill quick. Maybe we'll give the bourbon barbecue. Maybe it'll redeem it. Maybe that'll bring us back. It's a D tier. It's like a barbecue that was mixed with a very, very bad, horrible tasting bourbon. We're on a roll here with these bad ones. Los Maris Habaneros. I'm going to assume that's habanero. That's not because I know Spanish. That's because I can look at pictures. There's definitely habanero in there. I can smell that. Whew. Yeah, there's a habanero in there. Good grief. How much spice do you need in a Pringle? Okay. That's a D tier also. Because there's no flavor at all. Like, whatever it's supposed to be, I mean, I guess, well, I think habanero and lime. There's 0 lime. There's not even that much habanero. It's just hot. Let's cool down with an everything bagel. Man, did I like subconsciously pick all the good ones first and now all these nasty ones are all that's left? So first off, I know a lot of you are going to say, you just don't like everything bagels. That's why you don't like this. Wrong. I eat everything bagels. I love them. This doesn't taste like an everything bagel. I can't even pinpoint what that tastes like. Like a burnt onion or something, maybe? Okay. The D tiers are just lining up. We got another one. Another fallen soldier for the D tiers. Now this one, definitely one that I got in the mail. Let's see how crushed it is. Oh, and this is Buffalo Ranch. Okay, I don't think there's a single whole chip left in the whole thing, so I'm just going to have to do one of these numbers. I feel like I'm being punked. Are these expired too, or what? They just don't taste like much, to be honest. They got, you can taste a little bit of buffalo in there. Don't taste any ranch. Doesn't taste anything like what Buffalo Ranch you would think would taste like. Yeah, strange. I'm going to give that. It's not bad. It's not good. I'll give it a C tier. All right, now we're going to move on to the Scorching lineup. I guess we'll start off first with chili lime. I saved these for last because I know these are going to be hot. Doesn't smell too bad. Okay, never mind. I was about to say, these aren't as hot as the, what was that one that I just had that was really hot? I don't even remember the name. The one I just had that was really hot. That one. Actually, you know what? The habanero one. These aren't as hot as that, but they're probably like 70% as hot as that. Oh man, look at that. All that red stuff. I'm not getting much lime. I'm getting a lot of chili though. It's going to be a long 4 tubes here. I'll give it a D. Just because it's not enough lime. It's supposed to be chili and lime. It's just chili. I think it's too hot, to be honest with you. What even is this? Sour cream and onion. Scorching sour cream and onion. I don't taste any sour cream or onion. Okay, a little bit. There's a touch of it in there. It's better than the chili and lime. I give it a C. Scorching medium barbecue. Oh boy. I just realized they have heat ratings on them. So these two were hot. This one is supposed to be medium. And then this one is supposed to be extreme. That's comforting that the next one I'm going to try is going to be extreme. Actually, you know what? I'll try extreme last. I'll do my tongue a favor. You know how much barbecue I smell? 0. Come on. Let me ask you a question. If you had a barbecue flavor, and you had one barbecue flavor that was really good, and you had one that was really bad, why would you continue to use the one that's really bad? Because the barbecue flavor that they used on these is the one from, I think it was the original flavor, that was super smoky and just like gross. The heat on this isn't that bad. But if they would have used the barbecue flavor from the, what was it, one of the Harvest blends or something that was actually good, it wouldn't be bad. But since you made it hot, and you made it the nasty barbecue, I'm going to have to go E tier on that. Keep that away from me. Now we got hot cheddar. I wonder if this is going to be like a nacho cheese, maybe? Like a hot cheddar nacho cheese? I don't even need a second one. That's the nasty cheese flavor. It's almost like a mixture of like half of that like Emmental type of like really nasty cheese mixed with whichever one of the harvest blends had the like overpowering cheese flavor, and then mixed with hot. That's going to be E tier as well. No wonder you have to order those online and you can't get them in stores. Last one, Extreme Buffalo. Oh, it's extreme, all right. I should probably also mention, if you don't already know, my spice tolerance is like somewhere around like black pepper. That's about as high as I go. I'm putting that with the E tier. It's too hot. You don't taste anything but spice. The heat just keeps coming. Is too overpowering. And you don't taste anything. You don't taste buffalo. You don't taste nothing. You don't taste chip. You don't taste salt. You don't taste nothing. You just taste pain and spice. That's all the Pringles flavors. Hope you guys enjoyed this tier list. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.